The drinking fountain's history is interesting from where it's been to where it's going. The fountain is kind of like a symbol to a basic human right.
Fountains really started to be a thing in the 1800s, a couple of hundred years ago. Every home didn't have access to piped water. Communities were dependent on wells. People would go and get water for the day, even in some of the big cities.
Access to fresh and clean water has always been an issue.
So the earliest fountains were literally just spigots, often in beautiful sculptures in central parts of cities.
So, right away, there was a major flaw in the design. Fountains had what was called a common cup, a single cup that was used for the entire community. As you can imagine, diseases spread quickly throughout neighborhoods. Then there was a redesign.
Then there became at least I was familiar with as a child, where you push a button and a little stream of water comes out.
The drinking fountain found in the corridor at most schools is an attachment on a bathroom sink in this one.
This became the design that we're all familiar with, ones that are in schools, businesses, and parks. Then there comes segregation, where fountains were split between black and white. So not only has the fountain seen a lot through the years, but it also has faced its own challenges.
The bottled water industry, I think, has played an important role in this. It became convenient to buy water in bottles, and the advertising skill of the bottled water companies to convince you that their water was somehow better than
any other water. Bottled water started a steep downfall for the need and upkeep of drinking fountains.
I think all of those have contributed to the fairly slow but steady decay in the public water fountain infrastructure in this country.
According to the Water Project, an organization that helps communities access clean and safe water, Americans spend over $100 per year per person on bottled water. So, enter reusable water bottles.
There was a pushback against bottled water over the last decade, and more young people now are carrying around refillable bottles rather than buying bottled water. And that spurred the water fountain industry to build fountains that you could actually refill refillable bottles easily.
Life's good, drink water. I started that a while ago.
This is Richard Harisick with Los Angeles Water and Power.
We've always had this idea that we really want to promote tap water.
In 2019, the city of LA announced an initiative to add and repair over 200 fountains within the next 5 years.
What we call hydration stations, because it's more than a drinking fountain. We want to reduce the single use of plastic bottled water at the same time. So a hydration station means not only kind of a traditional drinking fountain, but a place where you could fill up your water bottle as well.
In the last 5 years, major cities like LA and Pacific Institute have been working towards rebuilding trust and ensuring access to clean public water.
I think more and more communities are beginning to think, well, maybe I ought to fix and maintain the public water fountains that we have.
But now fountains face another challenge, COVID-19. The novel virus, scientists say, could linger on surfaces anywhere from hours to days.
Fountains have to be properly maintained. You have to clean them. You have to make sure they're in working order. You have to make sure they're in places where people are going to look for them.
From a community cup to an arch stream to a refillable station, water fountains are now being remodeled to tackle sanitation concerns.
There are technologies out there that are self-cleaning, so they actually have an ultraviolet light that's built into that can kind of disinfect the actual machine itself that's delivering the water.
People around the world consume water differently and have been doing so for years. We may not know what water consumption will look like over the next decade, but one thing is for sure, the public's access to clean water will continue to evolve.
Our public water system is critically important. It's something we take for granted, but if we don't maintain it, if we don't expand it, if we don't protect it, we'll lose it. And we have to communicate to the public both how important it is, but also how safe it is. If we can do that to rebuild the trust in the public water system, then I think public water fountains can be a thing again.
Hey everyone, Cody Broadway here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the NBCLX YouTube channel. Be sure to click here for more videos and also click here to subscribe to join the NBCLX community.